6:38, welcome back to Good Morning San Diego. Well, it is a big week for the San Diego Rescue Mission as 40 people just graduated over the weekend from the Mission Academy program. Plus, the nonprofit marks 70 years of service in our community this month. So here to share more is President and CEO of the San Diego Rescue Mission, Donnie D. Good morning, Donnie. Good to see you.
Good to see you guys again, too.
This is exciting because for San Diego Rescue Mission, this is really what you're trying to accomplish, is getting them on that path from homelessness, stopping that cycle, educating, giving them the tools that they need and giving them hope, and then putting them on a path to their own greatness.
Well, that's right. The path to homelessness was long, and it was complicated, and it was difficult, and so the path out of homelessness is going to be equally long, and we believe there's a difference between meeting the needs of the homeless and addressing the needs of the homeless, and most of what we're doing as a society is meeting the needs of the homeless, and until we begin to take rehabilitation seriously and commit to that, which is expensive, which is time-consuming, until we all begin to do more of that, all we're really doing is just moving people around. And so we had 40 men and women, dads with kids, mom with kids, single women, single men that just spent the last 12 months living with us. They came to us homeless and said, I need help, and we walked them through a program. They are sober, they are housed, they are working again, and they're reconnected with their family in a church.
You know, I've been privileged enough to hear the testimony of some of the people who have been through your program, and it's not just, as you said, meeting those needs, but also finding their inner purpose. They also walk away with faith. They, you know, you're very open about talking about God with them, and that each of them has a greater purpose. And you really hear that when you talk to these men and women that have graduated.
Yeah, it's, you know, they're living a life where they feel like everybody's given up on them, and they've burned every bridge to their own fault, and they would admit this. They've burned every bridge they ever had, and so where do you turn to for help? And it is a powerful thing when we can say a couple things. First of all, this is not going to cost you anything. There's a whole community that's putting us in a position to offer our services for free. You'll never meet these donors. You'll never meet these volunteers probably. They just want you to get well. Take advantage of it. The second thing we get to tell them is that, look, God loves you. He has a plan for your life. He did not create you to sleep on a bridge or on a sidewalk. So let's get your stuff together. Let's get you healthy so that you can then in turn around and help somebody else. And we see that happening over and over and over again. And it's the good news, I think, particularly this time of the year. It's the good news about our homeless crisis when we spend so much time talking about how it's getting worse and all the bad things that are going on and the number of people that are living on the streets. It's the good news to know that some people took advantage of their situation, they accepted the responsibility of it and changed their life.
And so we've seen the pop-ups of these lighthouses with the San Diego Rescue Mission, where it's a one-stop shop. You have the housing and the computer labs and the resources there for everyone, and it's difficult because I'm sure there's overcapacity. I mean, we are trying as a community to come together to meet the needs, and there's just not enough beds at times.
Well, there isn't enough beds, that's correct. And I think there's also needs to be a change in our approach. I think people are moving into some of these shelter beds that we have throughout the county at these sprung structures and some of these other shelters, but they're not checking out. And I think what's happening while they're there probably needs to be looked at. We need to be moving people in and out and into a sustainable life. I think the lighthouses that you mentioned, there really is our vision and our approach. What started as a soup kitchen 70 years ago at 428 G Street has turned into this rehabilitation program where we're going to have three lighthouses, one in North County, one in South County, one in East County, that are going to be the primary way that we get people off the streets immediately. And for those that need to come downtown and go through our 12-month program, we'll better be able to assess those through our lighthouses.
And so this has now, as you mentioned, 70 years. I mean, it started, as you talked about, Soup Kitchen downtown, but it has now, thanks to the need and generous donors in this community, turned into so much more. How do we get you out of business and continue to support what you've been able to do for 70 years?
Well, wouldn't it be great if we had more beds than we needed? Wouldn't it be great if we drove around and didn't see as many people experiencing homelessness. Wouldn't it be great if someday we look back and we go, what happened to all the people experiencing homelessness? And we were able to say, well, there was a community that decided to take this seriously and didn't wait on the government to fix it. I think that it's going to take more of the community. It's going to take us limiting the silos, the governmental silos, the organizational silos. I think it's going to take a different approach. We got to be more committed to rehabilitation. I think it's going to take accountability. I think it's going to take law enforcement. I think the answer to that is very complicated.
Yes.
But I think the situation is complicated, and so our approach has got to be equally complicated.
Yeah, it is definitely just not a one, a one-way approach. So congratulations on much success, especially the 40 new graduates from this weekend, and continued great work.
We appreciate your support so much.
Absolutely.